Hey, I'm Zach with Swords and Statutes, and this is an overview of the rules needed to play the Curiosity format of Magic the Gathering. We play on Magic the Gathering Arena, and some people play in paper, but primarily our tournaments are played online on Magic Arena. We have a Discord that is linked in the description below, and we'd love to have you come join, and that's how you can participate in our tournaments. They are always free for the Curiosity format, and we are constantly growing, constantly getting new ideas ready to go, and are happy to have new blood in the format. So let's go over the rules. Curiosity is the most affordable, the most accessible format in Magic. We take the most recent set of standard paper Magic cards and make a minimum 40 card deck out of them. That's a minimum 40 cards. You can go more, but it is recommended to stay at that 40 card minimum. Your deck must include 2 rares or mythics, singleton of each. Your deck must include 6 uncommons with a maximum of 2 copies of any one uncommon. Your deck may include, or rather, the rest of your deck can include commons up to 3 copies of any one common, and then unlimited basic lands. There's also an 8-card sideboard without rarity restrictions. However, in games 2 and 3 of a best of 3 match, your deck must meet the above rarity restrictions. Again, those are 2 rares or mythics, singleton of each, 6 uncommons with a maximum of 2 copies of any one uncommon, and unlimited commons, but a maximum of 3 copies of any one common. So let's now go into Arena and look at what a deck looks like and how you might build one. All right, so here we are, and you can easily sort of get in and build your deck by quickly just sort of going in and setting your deck parameter to limited. That's going to be easier than anything else. You can also do direct game, but limited works best. And then what you'll also need to do is go and select the most recent set of standard Magic cards. Again, we're not using any of these digital only stuff like that. Every now and then we will do sort of throwback events and get a set that is either out of standard or is from years ago, and folks quite enjoy those. But for our mainline tournaments, those only use the most recent set of standard Magic cards. Let's take a look at what a deck looks like. So again, you can see that we have our cards sorted by rarity here. We have our commons, our uncommons, and then our rares and mythics. So again, we have 2 rares and mythics, a singleton of each. I would not be able to have 2 copies of Body Launderer in here. That would be against the format rules. Similarly, for uncommons, I have 2 copies of each. However, it would be just fine if I chose to only have 1 copy of Grisly Sigil and then chose to add in maybe a copy of Rogue's Gallery. I still have 6 uncommons, but I'm not bound to having 2 copies. I don't have to have exactly 2 copies of these cards. That's a maximum of 2 of any one card. And then for the commons, it's a similar story. This is a very focused, sort of fast deck for a mono black aggro. So I do have 3 copies, my maximum, of multiple cards. However, if I want to lower my curve a bit, I could drop 1 or 2 of these Girder Goons and then go once again, set my parameters to commons, and find maybe a Demon's Doom, and let's say I want another Fake Your Death, so to add a 1 of there. Looking at the sideboard, again, mostly commons here, But I do have a mythic. As I mentioned, in games 2 and 3, my deck must meet the rarity restrictions, so I would need to swap out one of my rares or mythics with another rare or mythic. So similarly, I could swap out my rare with this mythic. That's no problem there. But again, you must meet those rarity restrictions after you switch over. Another thing to note, so if I had another copy of, say, Murder in the sideboard, that would give me a total of 4 copies across the main and sideboard. That would also be against the rules. You can only have a maximum of 3 copies of any one common, and similarly across the other rarity restrictions. So it is quite simple, though. It's sort of, think of it as 3, 2, 1. 3 copies of any one common, 2 copies of any one uncommon, and 1 copy of a rare or mythic. One thing to note as well, regarding lands for a specific set, these count as common cards. They are not basic lands. You may have unlimited basic lands, but these are limited to that 3 card parameter. All right. Well, now that I've built my deck, I'm ready to go and join the Discord and jump into one of our free weekly tournaments. I hope you'll join me, and yeah, I really look forward to seeing you, getting involved with our tournaments. And one thing to note as well, at the end of each season, we do a charity stream where we take up donations for the winner's local animal shelter. We've been doing that for about a year and a half now, have raised a bunch of money for animal shelters across the US, and I think our most recent winner was in Turkey or somewhere in Eastern Europe, like East Eurasia area. So it's a worldwide thing, Curiosity. So thanks.